All right, so today we're going to take a deep dive into something that's pretty fascinating
Yeah.
and a little unsettling, too.
Definitely.
AI-generated food images.
Hmm.
You know, you sent us a collection of just a really interesting bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
First-hand accounts from Reddit, some news investigations, even some technical analyses.
Lots to dig into.
Yeah, lots to dig into. And clearly, you're as intrigued as we are
Oh, yeah.
by those too perfect to be true pictures keep popping up on Facebook.
I feel like they're everywhere.
I know, right? So the big question is, how widespread is this? And are we all being duped
Right.
by this digital deliciousness?
It's really interesting to see the sheer volume of these images.
Yeah.
You know that Reddit post that you shared? Anyone else getting inundated on Facebook with recipes that have AI photos?
Oh, yeah.
It's packed with comments from people who are seeing this all the time.
Yeah. It's like a constant thing now.
Yeah. It's almost as if AI-generated food is taking over our feeds.
It really is, right? And it's not just random people posting these either.
No, definitely not.
You know that French news article, Images générées par IA, pubs en masse, arnaque, les mauvais recettes des pages Facebook de cuisine, they really dug deep and revealed entire networks of pages dedicated to just churning out these AI-created pictures.
Interesting.
So there are some specific pages that the article highlights a case involving Moroccan-based pages that are dominating the French language Facebook landscape with these AI food images. So we're seeing a shift from, just individual experimentation to what looks like an organized effort to use AI for specific purposes.
Yeah, like it's deliberate. It's not just random.
Exactly. So it's not just a few tech-savvy folks playing around,
No, not at all.
There's something much bigger going on.
Like a whole system.
Yeah, absolutely. But before we jump into the why, let's back up a little and talk about that. How can we even tell if an image is AI generated?
Right.
Are there any kind of telltale signs, or is it really tough?
Yeah, there are definitely some things to look out for.
Oh.
One of the Reddit comments I saw mentioned a professional photographer who was saying that AI-generated images often have this kind of hyper-real quality.
Oh, interesting.
They were describing it as the pixels themselves having a certain softness.
Oh, wow.
Almost like a digital fingerprint.
So even though they're designed to look real, there are some visual cues that can kind of betray their artificial origins.
Exactly. And that French article also mentioned some more obvious giveaways.
Okay.
Like there was this one picture of a pizza that resembled a skull.
What?
And then the bananas that were divided into 4 sections instead of 3.
Wait, what? 4 sections? That's just wrong.
I know, right? And even an Oreo logo that was totally distorted.
Okay, now that one I can see, like AI just not quite getting the details right.
Exactly.
But the 4-section banana.
Yeah, that one's pretty out there.
Yeah. That's pretty wild, but why are these images so often off?
Right.
Like it's as if AI hasn't mastered the art of realistic food yet.
Yeah, AI image generators, they learn by analyzing massive amounts of data.
Okay.
They're essentially looking for patterns and trying to replicate those. But when it comes to organic shapes and really complex textures like food, AI can still kind of trip up.
Yeah.
It might get the overall shape right.
Right.
But the details, like the number of banana sections or the intricate lettering on a cookie, they often just end up a bit wonky.
So it's like AI's really good with patterns, but stumbles on the nuances.
The little things.
Yeah, the imperfections, the things that make real food real.
Exactly. And, those imperfections are often what make food visually appealing to us. Yeah. Like you could have a perfectly symmetrical apple with no blemishes.
Yeah.
It might look impressive, but it lacks that character and that authenticity of a real apple with its bumps and bruises.
Totally. It's like too perfect is just, it's suspicious.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we've established that these pictures, these AI-generated images, are pretty common. And we're getting better at spotting the fakes.
Hopefully.
But why go through all the trouble of creating these in the first place?
Right.
I mean, is it just about making food look extra delicious?
It's a great question, and the answer is more complicated than just aesthetics.
Okay.
One of the most obvious motivations, as highlighted in the French article, is money.
Oh, okay.
These AI-generated images are often linked to websites that are just flooded with ads.
Right.
The more enticing the picture, the more likely people are to click.
Right.
And that generates ad revenue.
Oh, so it's the clickbait model.
Exactly.
But with a sophisticated AI twist.
Yeah, exactly.
And if we think back to those Moroccan pages,
right.
It seems like this isn't just a few people looking for clicks.
No.
It's a whole network of pages working together for profit.
Yeah, it's potentially quite lucrative.
Wow. Okay, so we've got money,
Uh-huh.
potential for financial gain, and that article also raises another interesting point.
Right.
The possibility of these sites collecting data from users who are drawn to the images.
Right.
I mean, we don't have concrete evidence that this is happening in every case.
Right.
But it's definitely something to keep in mind.
Absolutely, a definite concern.
Okay, so we've got financial gain, potential data collection, but wait, there's more.
There's more.
Remember that French article mentioned something about a multi-level marketing scheme?
Oh, yes.
Called EMRIs?
Yes, and this is where things get potentially even more problematic.
Okay.
Emory seems to be using these seemingly harmless cooking pages filled with these AI-generated pictures to actually recruit new members for their cooperative buying program.
Cooperative buying, that sounds like a nice way to say group discount or something.
It does, doesn't it? But some critics have raised concerns about Emory's structure, suggesting that it might resemble a pyramid scheme. And the French article hints that they're strategically using these pictures.
These AI pictures?
Yes, knowing that they'll get attention to basically funnel people into this system.
So these AI food pages are being used as bait.
Essentially, yeah.
To lure people into this risky financial venture.
It seems that way.
That's a pretty elaborate setup.
It is, and it highlights the manipulative potential of AI. The article even mentioned some instances of blatant scams.
Really?
Operating within the comment sections of these pages.
Wow. Okay.
So not only are they potentially making money from ads, maybe collecting data, but they're also using these pages to exploit people's trust.
That's really alarming, the seemingly innocent trend of AI food pictures can be connected to these potentially really harmful activities.
Slippery slope.
It is. And, it's not just everyday Facebook users who are being affected.
Right.
That thread from @HealthyLittlePeach on Threads raises another really important issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
They talk about how these AI images are undermining the work of real food bloggers and potentially eroding trust in genuine creators.
Definitely a valid concern.
You can really sense the frustration.
Yeah.
In that thread, they mention how someone they know was wrongly accused of using AI pictures.
Oh, wow.
And it caused a lot of distress.
Yeah, that's awful.
It's a reminder that this isn't just about technology, it's about people's livelihoods.
Absolutely.
And their reputations, too.
It's a human impact.
Yeah, and food bloggers. Like at Healthy Little Peach, they put in so much time.
A lot of effort.
Yeah, effort into developing recipes, testing them, capturing beautiful photos.
Yeah, it's a craft.
But now with AI, anyone can create a really appealing image.
Right, in seconds.
Yeah, in seconds, regardless of the quality of the recipe or if it's even real.
It's a whole new world.
It really is. And so it creates this uneven playing field and makes it hard for these real food bloggers to stand out.
Yeah, to get recognition for all their hard work.
And I think this whole thing is raising some really complex questions about ethics, too.
Absolutely.
On one hand, food photography has always used tricks to enhance the visuals.
With the perfect water droplets.
You're right, or the way the ingredients are arranged.
Yeah, those little touches.
So where do we draw the line between artistic license and outright deception?
That is the question.
When does it become too much?
It's a tough one.
Yeah, food photography has always been about presenting food in the most appealing way.
In its best light.
But with AI, the potential for manipulation is just amplified.
It really is.
And the line between what's real and what's fake just gets blurrier and blurrier.
And we're not just talking about aesthetic choices here. We're talking about the essence of the food itself being potentially fake.
And how does that impact our trust in what we see online?
It's a big question.
Especially when it comes to something as basic as food.
Absolutely. It's fundamental.
Right. It's something we all need and we all relate to.
Food is more than just sustenance.
Yeah.
It's culture, it's connection, it's trust.
Yeah.
And when we start blurring those lines with AI, it has implications that go way beyond just the digital world.
And that brings us to another key player in this
Okay.
The social media platforms themselves. I mean, they're the ones disseminating all this content.
They are.
And yet their efforts to try to stop the spread of misleading images seem pretty minimal.
Very minimal.
You know, that AI notice mentioned in that Friend article.
Right.
That's hardly a deterrent.
It's like a little footnote.
Yeah, exactly. So if these platforms like Facebook are profiting from this content, shouldn't they be doing more to protect users?
Right, to protect us from being misled.
Exactly. What about labeling these AI pictures more prominently?
Like a big warning sign.
Or even, you know, developing some algorithms that can actually detect and flag these images.
That would be helpful.
Yeah, it feels like a half-hearted attempt, right?
It does. It really does.
So it raises a really important question about the responsibility of these tech companies in this whole new era of AI content.
Right.
Are they just platforms for information?
Or do they have a moral obligation?
Yeah, or do they have a moral obligation to make sure that what's being shared is authentic and real?
That's the big question, especially when it comes to something like food.
Exactly. I mean, it's a lot to unpack, right?
It is. It's a lot.
This whole AI food image thing might seem like a quirky internet thing.
Right, on the surface.
But it's clear that there are some deeper issues at play.
Oh, absolutely.
From the ethical questions to the impact on real creators and the role of these social media platforms. Yeah.
This is a conversation that's just beginning.
And it's going to keep evolving.
It is. It's going to get more and more important as AI just becomes a bigger part of our lives.
Definitely. You know, before we get too deep into the ethical side of all this, I think it's worth pointing out just how effective these AI images can be at grabbing our attention.
Right.
One of the comments on that Reddit post actually linked to a study that found that people rated AI-generated food images as more appealing.
Hold on.
Yeah.
More appealing.
More appealing.
So it's not just that we can't always spot the fakes.
Right.
We actually prefer them.
It seems that way. Yeah.
Wow.
The study suggests that AI is able to tap into something really fundamental about our visual preferences. By analyzing thousands of pictures. It figures out what makes food look irresistible, the colors, the composition, the lighting, and then it just amplifies those elements. So it's like AI is creating this kind of super stimulus.
Yeah, like a hyper-idealized version of food.
Right, and it's not even real.
Yeah, exactly.
No wonder those Moroccan-based pages are getting so many clicks.
Exactly, it's fascinating.
It is.
It's an insight into how AI is shaping our perceptions.
Yeah.
Even subconsciously.
And it makes you wonder how this might affect our expectations of real food.
Right, will we start to find actual meals less satisfying?
Yeah.
Because they don't live up to these AI-generated ideals.
It's a scary thought. Imagine going to a restaurant and you see this amazing picture on the menu.
Right, mouth-watering.
And then the food comes out and you're disappointed.
Because it's not as perfect.
Yeah, it's not as vibrantly colored or perfectly arranged.
It's just stylized.
Yeah, it's not that AI version.
That's a possibility.
It's really possible. And it brings us back to that point about the impact on food bloggers and other creators who are working with real food.
Yeah, they're feeling the pressure.
They are, you know, at Healthy Little Peach, and other food bloggers are already up against this incredibly crowded online space.
Right, it's so competitive.
And now they're competing with these images that are literally designed to be more appealing than reality.
It's a tough spot to be in.
So what can we do?
Well, I think it's so important to support those genuine creators.
Okay.
You know, look for bloggers and photographers whose work you trust. Who show the behind-the-scenes process, who are transparent about how they do things.
Right, so we know it's real.
Engage with their content.
Yeah.
Leave comments, share their work.
Show them some love.
Let them know that you appreciate their authenticity.
Exactly. It's about being a conscious consumer.
Yes.
Not just of the food we eat, but the content that we're taking in online.
Absolutely.
We need to be more aware of where it's coming from.
Yes.
What the motivations might be.
The why behind it all?
And who we're choosing to support.
Yeah, our attention is valuable.
It really is. And it's not about, you know, rejecting technology completely.
No, of course not.
AI can be really powerful.
It can be.
It's not going anywhere.
It's here to stay.
But we need to learn to use it in a way that's thoughtful and critical.
Absolutely. We need to be in control.
So speaking of using AI thoughtfully, I'm curious about those AI detection tools. That are being developed.
Do you think those will be able to keep up?
That's a good question.
With the algorithms?
Yeah, because the algorithms are constantly evolving.
It's a little bit of an arms race, isn't it?
It is. It definitely is.
As the AI image generators get more sophisticated,
yeah.
the detection tools have to keep up.
They have to adapt and improve.
But it's an important area of research.
It is. Very important.
And there are some promising things happening.
There are, yeah.
I read about some tools that are focusing on
okay.
analyzing those subtle digital fingerprints.
Right, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, those telltale signs of AI manipulation.
Those little inconsistencies. So even if an image looks perfect on the surface,
right, at first glance,
there might be these hidden clues within the pixels
in the code
that give it away.
Exactly.
That's so cool. It's like being a digital detective.
I know, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, looking for those little inconsistencies.
Those little clues.
But until those tools are widely available, we're still left trying to figure things out on our own.
For now, yes.
So aside from supporting those genuine creators, what else can we do to navigate this AI world?
It all comes down to awareness and critical thinking.
Right.
So the next time you see a food picture online, don't just take it at face value.
Don't just assume it's real.
Right. Ask yourself a few questions.
Like what?
Does it look a little too perfect?
Okay.
Are there any of those telltale signs, those wonky details?
Right. The 4-section banana?
Exactly. What's the source of the image? And what might their motivation be?
Those are great questions.
We have to be a little bit skeptical.
Yeah, it's like we have to be digital detectives now.
It is, kind of.
Scrutinizing every pixel.
Every little detail.
And even if we can't always be 100% sure, the act of questioning and critically analyzing what we see.
It's a step in the right direction.
It is. It really is.
It's about engaging with the digital world in a more mindful way.
Absolutely.
More discerning, you know.
And even if we can't escape these AI food images completely, maybe this whole phenomenon can remind us.
Remind us of what?
Of how much we value the real thing.
Oh, I like that. What do you mean?
Well, think about it. Real food is messy.
It is.
It's imperfect.
Yeah.
It's full of surprises.
Yeah.
It might not always look good on Instagram.
No, not always picture perfect.
But it has a depth of flavor and texture that no AI can replicate.
It's true. You can't fake that.
So maybe this is a chance for us to appreciate those imperfections.
I love that.
To find joy in the process of cooking.
Yeah.
And sharing a meal with people we care about.
Those are the moments that really matter.
They are.
Those real-life experiences.
And ironically, AI is kind of helping us do that.
How so?
By highlighting the limits of its own creations.
It's a paradox.
It is. It's like AI is giving us this digital illusion.
Yeah.
But in doing so, it's reminding us how much we value the real thing.
I think you're onto something there.
It's a powerful realization.
It really is.
Okay, so we've gone pretty deep on this whole AI food image thing.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
The how, the why, the potential problem.
For good, the bad, and the ugly.
But what does this all mean for us moving forward?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Like, how do we take what we've learned and apply it to our everyday lives?
I think the key takeaway here is awareness.
Okay.
You know, you're leaving this deep dive with a whole new perspective on those perfect food pictures we see everywhere.
Right, those ones that are just too good to be true.
Exactly. You know now that things aren't always as they seem.
Yeah.
There might be some hidden reasons behind those pictures.
Like someone trying to make money or collect data, or even worse.
Exactly. And you know that even the most realistic-looking food could be completely made up by AI.
It's like we've got this X-ray vision now.
I like that.
We can see through the surface and into the code underneath.
Exactly. And with that awareness comes a sense of agency.
What do you mean?
You're not just passively scrolling anymore.
Okay.
You're making conscious choices about what you believe, what you share, and who you support.
So it's not about being cynical or rejecting technology.
No, not at all.
It's about being a bit skeptical.
Yeah, having a healthy dose of skepticism.
Thinking critically.
Thinking for yourself.
And this isn't just about pictures of food.
Right, this is bigger than that.
AI is changing how we see information in so many ways.
It's touching every part of our lives.
What we've talked about today is just one example.
One piece of the puzzle.
Of how AI is blurring the lines between what's real and what's fake.
And those lines are getting blurrier all the time.
So the skills we're developing now.
Like what?
Questioning sources, looking for inconsistencies, thinking about motivations.
Right, those critical thinking skills.
Those are going to be even more important as AI becomes more powerful.
It's like we need to be detectives in our own lives.
I like that analogy.
Always on the lookout for clues.
Yeah, because we can't just assume anything is real anymore.
You can't take anything for granted.
And, on a more personal level,
Yeah.
this deep dive has made me think about real-world experiences in a new way.
Really? How so?
It's like after spending all this time talking about AI and digital stuff,
Right.
I have this renewed appreciation for just stepping away from the screen
Okay.
and engaging with the physical world.
Like what kind of things?
Like cooking a meal, from scratch.
Yeah.
Savoring a tomato fresh from the garden.
Those simple pleasures.
Yeah, or just sitting down for a meal with people I care about.
It's grounding, isn't it?
It is. It's like those moments are what really matter.
Those are the moments that feed our soul.
And no matter how advanced AI gets,
right,
it can never replace those experiences.
It can try to imitate them?
Yeah.
But it can't replicate the real thing.
So in a way, AI is kind of pushing us.
Pushing us to do what?
To rediscover what's truly important.
Like what?
Human connection, authenticity, appreciation for the world around us.
Beautifully said. I love that.
Maybe that's the silver lining in all of this.
It's like AI is showing us what we stand to lose.
If we let the digital world completely take over.
Exactly. It's a wake-up call.
Well, this has been a really eye-opening deep dive.
It has. I've learned a lot.
We've uncovered the secrets of AI food images.
We've peeled back the layers.
We've talked about the ethical challenges.
And the broader impact on society.
And hopefully we've given you some tools.
Some food for thought.
To navigate this new world with confidence.
Some critical eye.
The power to decide what's real and what's fake is in your hands.
You're in control.
So go out there, explore, question everything.
And don't forget to savor the real world.
All its messy, delicious glory.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, stay curious.